Snacks.
Yo, what it do, Lodi Snacks Universe? Your boy Jokes is here. I got the homie Sin. I got the homie Marcus. Yeah, it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. You guys are seeing our faces right now. Welcome to a special edition of the Finisher Live. Pretty sure my man. Okay, now you back. Like you froze for a second, Marcus.
Yeah, it's doing stuff right now. For
It's
something
doing
like
stuff.
it's just doing stuff. First Wayne tech of the finisher for me.
Hey, it is what it is. We're gonna work through it. But welcome to the special live edition of the Finisher. We're here today to talk about AEW's big business. So typically we wouldn't be here doing predictions for Dynamite, but this episode is special. And it warranted, I believe, us to come and actually have a little discussion and conversation with you guys. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's coming live from the TD Garden. I know we got some things that we think that's going to happen. I mean, let's be real here. We know it's going to happen with the way that everything has been presented to us clearly.
I don't know that.
You don't know that?
I don't know that. The other week, everybody was like, "Ooh, what's these cryptic messages on NXT? Is Okada coming to NXT? Oh my gosh!" Then there's some other random dude. Like, so no, we don't know that's gonna happen.
Who's he talking about? Sean Spears?
Yes, that's his name. Yes.
I mean, we told you Sean Spears was going in back to NXT.
Remember, I don't know everybody yet.
You've seen him.
I'm just saying that everybody was sure it was Okada until he came out.
Why would it be Okada? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. That's not what's best for business.
Definitely not. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. The card is only 5 matches on the card, so nothing too crazy for us to go ahead and kind of run through. I'm sure there's going to be some type of surprise, maybe a surprise match, surprise fight, whatever could happen. But at least for what we know, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna run through this and give our predictions on what we think is going to happen. Then at the end of the show, we'll talk about the big elephant in the room, which we're pretty sure is going to happen tonight at some point. It's just a matter of where it he already switched. It just depends on where said event is going to happen in the show. I imagine the end, but let's just go ahead and get through these matches so we can get to that and talk about it. That sound like a plan?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Cool. So honestly, all 5 of the matches on the card, I'm interested in. So I'm happy. So we're gonna start with this one, Marcus. This one, I think me and you are going to be in the same place when it comes to time for this one. But we got Darby Allin versus Jay White. First things first, Darby, I don't know how the hell you're doing this right now. I feel like you should be taking a nice.
I can tell you how painkillers, man.
Yep, 100%.
Painkillers are 100%.
Painkillers and tape. Painkillers and tape.
But this match should be interesting. This will be I'm pretty sure this is our first interaction that we've had with Jay White and Darby Allin.
It is.
So I'm definitely interested to see how this plays out, or if this even truly means anything going forward.
It means absolutely nothing because
I
think this is what he said. Like, this is his last match, and then he's like going to scale
Mount Everest. Yeah.
Mount Everest. Yeah. I hope for the best.
Yeah. So my man King Switch is going to do what King Switch does, and then we're just going to wrap this bad boy up in a nice little bow and just be like, good luck in your future endeavors. Hope to see you back in one piece and healthy and no frostbite and missing limbs.
I agree with you. I'm pretty sure Jay White is gonna run away with this match. Don't get me wrong. Darby's gonna do one crazy thing before he leaves this episode. Even though I know this,
I do not need or want him to do anything crazy during this match. If he's about to climb freaking Mount Everest,
there will be shenanigans with the ref.
Mm-hmm.
The Bang Bang Gang's gonna come out. He's gonna use Sting's bat as an homage to Sting, and then he's going to get Blade Runner out of existence. And that's how this match is going to end.
How many Blade Runners, Marcus?
Man, King Switch only needs the one Blade Runner. This man's still injured. Like, we didn't see this man go through actual glass. Like last week. Like, you need to chill, bro.
Sin, where you sit on this match?
Jay White, easy. Like, it makes like he just came off a big match with Sting, right? After pulling one of the most craziest, things ever we've seen in professional wrestling. So yes, we know he's banged up. We know he's hurt. But with the ranking system back, it doesn't make no sense for him to have a match against Jay White, only for Jay White to lose and lower in the ranking system when Darby's going to go away for a while. Like it doesn't make any sense. So Jay White, he has the numbers game on his side. Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Like even if the Acclaim doesn't come out to help, the Bullet Club will. Like it's just he doesn't have Sting anymore to have back in his corner. All he has, is and that's what I'm going to go with so far. Like it's Jay White.
And plus, this man Jay White is a trio is a trio champion. Like this man ain't losing.
Yeah,
hey,
and he's a main event contender. Like, you know what I mean?
Like this man came out last week. He's like, I'm gonna settle some unfinished business. I'm like, that's not Darby. He going after Joe. Like this, all roads lead to Joe.
Yep,
all roads
he's one of them.
Joe.
Yeah.
You can quote me on that.
Dig it. So yeah, we're all in agreement. Jay White is taking the victory here. Shenanigans will ensue as usual. Let's go ahead and move on to our next match of the night. We're looking at Willow Nightingale versus Rio. So we've been seeing over the past few weeks some stuff go down between them. Couple different matches. Face-to-faces, whatever you want to call it. Is this where we see Willow finally turn heel potentially? Or
no, it's not time for a Willow heel change. She is a great face. It's not time for that yet. No, I have outside of shenanigans like we saw last week with Chris Statlander and Rio. I think this should be a dub for Willow Nightingale. Like I said, outside of the shenanigans with Stokely. You know what I'm saying? Trying to interfere and quote unquote help. You know what I mean? Like by throwing belts and chains into the ring to assist Willow, she doesn't need it. She's proven herself. She's fine. Let them have a clean match. Let her get a clean victory and move on to that, the TBS title she's after. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to that point. But yeah, I think she's got this one. No shame against Rio. No shame against her whatsoever. It's just it's gonna be
weight class right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough
weight class. Don't mean nothing to her. I mean, Rio essentially is taking on everyone that she fights is twice her size, and she's definitely taking. And she's definitely taking.
We're dealing with black girl magic.
Valid, but still,
and once again, she has people in her corner. So
Stokely going to Stokely.
Exactly. Yep.
He's going to at least try to. Marcus, where are you at?
I mean, I support black business on this channel. Not that I don't support my Asian brethren and sisters, but right now it's Willow for not only for the reasons that my good counterpart Sin said, but like she has momentum right now, and it will be nice to see her as a number one contender for the TBS title, so that way we can somewhat maybe get a reign later down the road, so then she can then be elevated up to that AEW Women's Championship level caliber player. So yeah, I think this would be a good W for her to get that contendership.
Dig it. I dig it. I think both of your reasons are valid. And because both of your reasons are valid, I'm going to go with Rio.
I know this goes. I know he's gonna.
Why does he do that, man? Yeah, like, I don't get it. Like, why does he like? It's just us here. It's just us here. Yeah, like for the listeners, it's for the listeners that are listening, and for the watchers that will watch us whenever they are watching it. Like they know. It's like it's uncalled for. Filibustering, for no reason. Trying to draw it out.
No, Marcus. I actually want to hear his reasoning. Go. Why Rio?
There is no reasoning. This is just going
exactly.
Oh, just because. Okay.
Yeah,
you see, like I already knew.
I tried to give him a chance. To explain.
But I am going to say. Listen, I am going to say, I don't know if Rio is now. You know, she's been here consistently for a few weeks now, so I don't know if this is going to be a more full-time run again that we're going to see her in AEW for, or if this is kind of still going back and forth. I would like to see her be a little bit more on the full-time side. So I was like, hey, you know what? Let's give her a victory and let's see what we can work with. But definitely, Willow is on a fire run right now, and I don't want to see that get hampered. But I'm just gonna be, hey, Cuddy's like, jokes be hating.
It's a normal thing here, Cuddy. It's a normal thing.
It's just a normal thing. But yes, I'm gonna go this one. I'm gonna go opposite on. I'm gonna say Rio, just for the hell of it.
All right, just because we chose.
Always got to be the squeaky wheel, man. Always got to be the squeaky wheel. And you see, you used to get on my case when I used to say controversy creates cash, and I'll be the one opposing everything. Now it's just like, oh, well, since he's not doing it, we all been agreeing.
I guess controversy creates cash in this case too. Maybe this match doesn't even finish. Maybe there's an interruption during this match. I doubt it's going to happen here anyway.
No.
I really doubt it's going to happen.
Could we see a disqualification though? Could we see a disqualification because of Stokely's interference?
Valid, but the thing is, if it is disqualification, he gets seen. That means Rio wins, unless he pulls like an Eddie Guerrero type thing, and they can get the fake me out off, which I highly doubt is going to be able to happen. But nonsense, you guys, Will Nightingale, me, Rio. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure Will's going to win, but I think Rio can pull. I think Rio can pull this one out.
Okay.
All right, bet. So now let's go ahead. Let's move on to our next match. Tag team match. And we are looking at the FTW champion Hook and Chris Jericho versus the Gates of Agony. So we've seen over the past few weeks, obviously, Jericho and Hook are now starting to become this tag, this tag team, this
friendship. You mean this makeshift tag team that Jericho got inspired from a previous company that makes no goddamn sense.
Hey, hold on, my man Ty is like, why are you on so early? Hey, Ty, maybe you just super early.
I know for the first time. Hey, since I'm actually here. Maybe it's early time. Early time for the wrestling for the wrestling channel. It's early time.
Hey Ty, AEW's got a special show tonight. Big business. It's not a normal AEW Dynamite, so we felt as though this would be. It's
basically a mini pay per view.
Yeah,
it's a mini pay per view. That's what it is.
So we decided to go ahead and chop it up because there's at least one major thing that's going to happen on this show that we know about that we're going to talk about. But
Marcus, I agree with Marcus when he said why are these two being put together. I completely agree. Like I'm watching it like these past couple weeks. Like why is Jericho and Hook a thing? I don't care for this.
Yeah, it's a weird combination of the two. Like I like that Chris Jericho will take a lot of the young talent and do this type of thing with them. But this one has been a little, just like you said, it's been a little just like shoehorn put together.
Yeah, kind of. There's been no build up to it. Like it was like one thing, like, hey, I respect you, and then he comes out to help him, and now they're tag teaming. Like what? Like this has happening too fast. Like stop that. Okay.
Like I feel like Chris Jericho in this sense is like not even John Cena. I would say he's like the hardcore Holly guy of AEW. He just gets paired with the younger talent as a tag team to push the younger talent up. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is like now his spot, which I don't mind, but not like this. Like it has to make sense.
Hook don't need a push.
Which is why I said this is a makeshift tag team that he learned how to do from a previous company because it makes no sense. And for that reason, I'm going. What was it? The Gates of Agony?
I don't know. Some random dudes.
Yeah.
I mean,
are they part of like the Mogul Embassy?
Yeah, part of the Mogul, whatever the new version of it is.
Exactly. The only reason why I remembered it. Reason why I remembered it is because they're part of the Mogul Embassy.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, even though they're having this whole respect thing with each other, for some reason it just doesn't feel like it's gonna stick. I don't know if Jericho is gonna turn or you know what? Just because of how this is gonna go, they're probably gonna have that one part in this match where communication doesn't happen and one of the two of them ends up hitting each other, and then it causes.
Hook is gonna knock him out.
He absolutely could knock him out. But I feel like it's gonna cause that rift between them, and then this just breaks down immediately. I'm not sure where we're looking to go with this. So, Marcus, I'm in the same place with you. I think Gates of Agony is going to take this win. Because I just don't see the Hook Jericho dynamic. I don't see. At one point, I did believe this was supposed to be the reuniting of Jericho and Sammy Guevara again, but they never really made it official. But Sammy apparently suspended, so I think this is where that
indefinitely
this kind of thing where they shifted Hook in here to kind of be that fill-in person.
Extreme shift.
And they just had to work with it. So I'm eager to see if something can be brought about of this. But otherwise, right now, the tag of them, I'm not sold on it yet. I'm not sold on it yet. I don't know if I will be sold on it. But all we can do is kind of see how things play out. What does Sammy do? So you recall
he broke Jeff's nose.
He had a match with Jeff Hardy. He hit the front flip off the ladder and landed on Jeff Hardy, broke his nose. But the part that really got him suspended apparently is Jeff was concussed, but he still went to go on and hit his finisher on Jeff.
He wasn't supposed to do the finisher.
So I don't know. To me, I feel like there's a twofold street here. Like, I feel like if Jeff was really that bad off, the ref probably should have called the match. And just kind of been there, but I don't know if that was an agreement between the two of them to still, keep going.
Well, if Jeff was concussed, he not thinking clearly anyway. So it's kind of like, all right, for all of that, he could just did a schoolboy pin, and then that would have been the match. But to do the finisher, one on someone whose nose is broken, two is concussed. It is overkill because even in the other company's standards, like Jericho, when he was in that company, would literally tell the ref, like, yo, like off camera, but the camera back then when the camera guys weren't smart, would catch him actually like, yo, like he's injured, like call the match, like finish it.
So,
safety always first.
Exactly.
So that's why,
regardless of storyline, plots, all of that.
So that's why this
talent safety
scenario has kind of presented itself. But I'm eager to see if they can work something to come about of this. Who knows?
Well, that's okay. He can stay home and take care of his wife and kids.
Valid. But yeah, so are we all in agreement on Gates of Agony? I think, Sin, you're in the same place too.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm Jericho Hook. I'm Jericho Hook on this one. They are Hook doesn't need a push, but they are forcing Hook down our throats every week. It seems like to.
Well, he's FTW champion. Of course, they're gonna push it. Like,
but
so that
FTW champion doesn't mean nothing.
So here's the thing. I love where the FTW championship came from and everything. But in the standalones of what AEW is,
it doesn't mean anything. It's just his father's belt that he's carrying around because it's his father's belt. Like,
tell Tony, until Tony like actually says, listen, the FTW championship is a 100% legitimate title within AEW, then it's kind of meaningless on.
Well, until this man goes after like the international AEW championship or the TBS championship,
I think,
or the AEW.
I think one of those is the plan, and that's why they're forcing him to us constantly. I think.
But for all of that,
I like Hook.
For all of that, they need to retire the FTW belt on TV.
Yes,
but I feel like the way that the FTW championship is being presented is kind of like not the 24/7 title, but not exactly the hardcore title. If you see where I'm going with this, it's kind of in that in between, like that Intercontinental US and then like those titles. It's like in between there, like it has somewhat meaning. It's like a fighter's championship, but it's not currently being shown now as a fighting championship, whereas before, when it was introduced, it was a fighting championship. You have the belt, you fought and defended it every night. That was taped live, whatever. It was defended.
Well, we'll see. I hope they do something with it because otherwise, yeah, it's kind of meaningless.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to take nothing away from, Taz and him, the FC, but it's just honestly, it's just
No,
meaningless
let's
right
say
now.
it's his father's belt. Like, just dude, you don't need to bring it out every week. Like, we get it. That's your dad's belt. Like, I understand. I get it. You've done it long enough to where we can retire it and you can go after the real championship. In case of Agony,
They need a win.
They're here for filler. Like, they're just here for filler. I'm sorry.
They need a win.
But you see, this is why they need the win, though.
They need
it's
to
because
win.
they be getting their wins on Ring of Honor. They be getting their wins in Ring of Honor, which is why they were Ring of Honor tag team champions. They need their wins in AEW to show the AEW. Huh?
When were they tag team champions in Ring of Honor?
Just a while ago.
Yeah.
Just a while ago, they were AEW tag team Ring of Honor tag team champions, which is why to show the fans and yourself what they are capable of, they need to show that in AEW.
On AEW side. A lot of people don't go and watch Ring of Honor as well too. It's a shame.
Don't worry, son. On the ropes, table it.
Yeah. All right, cool. So 2 versus 1 on this one, but I think me and Marcus on Gates of Agony. You're on Jericho and Hook.
Yep.
I just hope to see something come about this, regardless of which way it is. Now let's go on.
Entertain me at the end of the day, basically.
Entertain me. That's what I want. Let's go on to the next match, which has the potential of probably being the match of the night, but there's a few on here that give us some contendership. But that's going to be a 6-man tag team between the New Elite versus Eddie Kingston, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Pac. The bastard is back. So Okada made his AEW debut, and to all of our surprise, ends up aligning himself with.
There was no surprise. There was no surprise.
Really?
This man ribs the Young Bucks every time he is around them.
Listen, and I know he's cool. I know he's friends with them.
I gotta educate Sid because he's like he ribs them. What do you mean? A rib is when you pull. It's basically a prank or a joke, in the wrestling biz. And so what Okada does to the Young Bucks is he always steals like their ring attire and wears their ring attire or whatever like attire that they have for that day. He basically takes it from them and wears it, rocks it everywhere.
I was in the ring too?
Yes, in the ring. Performs it in the ring, everything. Like no matter what it is, like he takes it. Like that's like a constant rib. That's like the what's the Colin joint where the dude is going down like the cliff and then the little alien pops up on the screen. It's like that running gag that whatchamacallit the dude from Ant-Man does on that late night television special show.
Okay.
Look, it's been a while. It's not Jimmy Fallon. It's Conan O'Brien. There we go.
Well, that was a while ago.
I was like, that's a minute ago.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, even though, yes, we know Okada and the Bucks are good friends. That is nobody was honestly expecting him to just come out and just straight up align himself with the Young Bucks and then also become the newest member of the Elite. Of course, kicking out now Kenny Omega.
Is he really kicked out? Did they say he was kicked out?
They fired him on TV.
Yeah.
They literally fired him from the Elite on TV.
Yep.
They can't fire him from the Elite. He's the founder of the Elite. He has all the power.
Well,
like
he can deal with that once he gets healthy and he's back.
Yes, but I say majority vote. You should understand the majority of the vote. As long as the majority of them don't want somebody.
Hey, my man Hangman ain't vote. We actually have a vote. And
Hangman is suspended. So
both of them suspended. Yeah, they're both gone.
I mean, Hangman has a chance to come back, but I can see what they're trying to do is like to build up maybe to get us Kenny versus Omega again. Like obviously, if you're fans of New Japan and seeing the two of them,
I was about to say Kenny versus Omega again. That's the same dude.
Excuse me. You see what we go through
versus Omega.
You see what we go through.
Hey, listen. But you knew what I was talking about, so that's all that matters.
Did I though? Did I though?
Yeah, you did. But we'll bring it back from before we get too far off. But yeah, this match, of course, Eddie Kingston came out and was getting ready to attack the Bucks. Okada came out, interrupted, ended up attacking Eddie Kingston. Honestly, I was kind of surprised, but whatever. So this is what kind of led up to this match. Obviously, Eddie is filling in for Ray Phoenix at this point because this would have easily to me would have been Death Triangle versus the Elite. But I believe Ray is out hurt again, if I'm not mistaken, or I'm not sure. So they're just having Eddie to fill in that void, fill in that gap. I think Eddie actually fits Death Triangle regardless, either way, to be put into this match for it. Marcus, how are you feeling on this match?
I feel like it's going to be a good match. Like it's definitely a lot of good professional wrestlers.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Well, Cuddy. Hangman is suspended. His is suspended. Not the
it's because he attacked the ref.
Yeah,
he attacked the ref at the last pay-per-view, basically, and the Bucks was like, "Yeah, we have a no tolerance policy for those type of actions, so we're gonna he's suspended."
Yeah. So,
but he's a heel, and their heels, which goes back to what I was saying like last week. It was just like the Elite are heels, so they're just saying things to say things to stir everybody up, which is why I said Kenny Omega ain't kicked out of nothing.
Hey,
no, they'll make it a storyline when he comes back.
Yeah. Let him go back to the Bullet Club and the Bullet Club versus the Elite. I don't know. I don't think Jay White and Kenny Omega will be able to coexist with each other in the Bullet Club.
Well, Jay White is kicked out of Bullet Club. Ain't no Bullet Club for him.
Excuse me. He's Bullet Club Gold. It still counts.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It does count.
That's like comparing Call of Duty to Fortnite. They're two separate things.
I don't believe that analogy works in this situation.
Yeah, he's Bullet Club.
I don't think that analogy
he's Bullet Club Gold. Like, it's still Bullet Club. Like, he may not be in the original iteration of it, but it's like 40 of them.
That man was kicked out. He was kicked out. He ain't in Bullet Club.
Oh, you told that the Bullet Club Gold.
Go for it, because he's still repping Bullet Club. Honestly, I'm pretty sure in this match, it's a little. I feel like this one is one that could definitely go either way. I think the Elite probably are gonna take the victory in this one, just to start setting up a little bit more between Okada and Eddie Kingston. I can see a decent feud going on between the two of them.
I can too.
Obviously, I think the Bucks will be there to be the mouth a little bit more for Okada. Okada is okay at speaking English, but I know he's probably gonna work a little bit more towards it.
Who goes the Red and Black Wolfpack and WO?
They're pulling better right now. Hey, listen, I think that now that's the analogy, not what you said, Mark, but that's the analogy. Where are you at on this, Sam?
The Elite. I don't think. Oh yeah, Okada just came back. I don't think they're gonna want to put an L on him just yet. They still want to show him off to everybody who doesn't know who he is and what he's capable of. So I don't see that. I agree. The Bucks are going to be the mouthpiece for a while for him until he gets a little bit more comfortable, because now he's here. You got to cut promos and stuff like every week and everything. So it's going to take a little practice on his hand. I think making him I think a way that they can go with him is making him like the cool, silent kind of villain type of whatever. If they're going to go full on heel with him, something like that starting off would help with while he's getting the language barrier and all that kind of stuff together. That could work for him. But nothing against the other team. They're all super talented. You know what I mean? From what I see. But I don't think they're going to put an L on Okada just yet. So I got them winning.
Marcus, I don't think I need to ask you, just surely on the fact that you have the hat on.
Right. He's wearing the branding.
I have to ask.
It's literally like,
I have to ask because you're Marcus, and sometimes you'll say or do things that just don't.
And I don't like the Young Bucks, and I'm picking them to win.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. My man Sen does not like the Young Bucks for some reason. I think it's because he's too sold on the other brand Super Kick Party.
Those.
But yes, for tracking and training purposes, I'm going with the Golden Elite. Or I should say the Money Elite.
I would say this is like the corporate like in the WWE type thing, like
the executive elite.
Yeah, Actually, that's probably what they're going to call it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
Okada's not an
they call it the
executive.
EVP trigger now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but Okada's there now, so like you have to incorporate like Okada's gimmick, and he's like the
It doesn't
Rainmaker.
matter.
yeah,
He's
he's
going to be the company
executive,
man. He's going to be a
rainmaker,
company man.
money.
Money.
It all fits. Yeah, it all
Rainmaker, like
fits.
it fits. All right. So cool. So we're all in agreement on the elite on this one. I'm good with it. So let's go ahead and move on to
Pac just needs to stay healthy. That's all I gotta say. Pac just like don't do too much. Like I'm happy you're back. Stay healthy, please. For the love of God, stay healthy.
Please do. Please do. Please do.
Also, Sen, we're going to get another Ospreay versus Okada. I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
there's
no
we
way.
are, and
There's
Ospreay
no-
gonna take that L again, unfortunately.
I don't know.
No.
That's a different conversation we can have for later. I don't think so though. But let's go ahead and let's shift focus. Let's go to the main event. Gonna be for the AEW World Championship between Samoa Joe and Wardlow.
Hey, Marcus.
Man,
Marcus.
yeah.
Is it really the point of having this conversation?
There really isn't. Except for the fact that I want to say last week I told you that my man Wardlow was going to win. And
No,
face
you
Joe.
had you did, but he ain't beating Joe.
No.
I mean, I didn't say he was going to beat Joe. I just wanted to put
No,
on
yeah.
record that I said
Yeah.
before that my man Wardlow was going to go after the AEW title to try to bring the gold, but he's not going to beat Joe. Like,
Nah, he is not going to beat
like
Joe.
my
We're all
man
agreed.
Joe literally beat him for what was he? The TBS champion? TNT championship. Like my man literally roughed him for that championship and then gave it up so he can go to Ring of Honor and become Ring of Honor champion and like another champion, and then just gave those up to go after the AEW. Like my man Joe is Joe. Like I do not doubt my man Sweet Tooth right now. I'm sorry. Like the man's my man's fire.
I dig it. So now we don't have to dwell on this for a long time. Joe is gonna win this match. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
Now let's just throw a wrench, something into the mix right now, because I don't see why this match would even last 10 minutes, honestly, with Joe.
No, I think it will last more than 10 minutes, even though they're both heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're both big guys. Like Joe has shown that he can make a long match, and Wardlow has had at least a 25-minute match under his belt already. Mm-hmm. So it should be at least a good solid 25 minutes if all the matches end on time the way they're supposed to, promos, all that stuff. It should be at least a good solid 25-minute match.
So speaking of in the AEW World Championship, is this once again where we see the return of MJF?
No.
MJF has been missing in action, removed from the website, not have been heard from in months now. I'm still trying to figure out what angle they're going to work him back into it, other than him showing up at WWE.
Bro, they can't work him back in until my man Adam Cole is 100% medically cleared for in-ring action.
Could Joe even get the muscle buster? Nah, I'm more than certain Joe can hit a muscle buster.
He's done it. He's done it already.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Not at all. I don't think that'll be a problem at all for Joe. It'll just be a matter of how many times. I feel like he may end up having to hit it twice.
Just because Joe look fat don't mean he fat. No. My man be in the gym.
Yeah,
I like Wardlow, but he not. Yeah.
It ain't this yet. It's not this yet.
It's not his time yet.
Yeah, not this yet. I think Joe is clearly going to be the victor in this match. Yeah, we don't have to stay too long on this one. We kind of know. I feel like I do. If this ends up being what wraps up the show entirely, I feel like there will be some type of swerve either after the match or somewhere in between. But let's go ahead and let's talk about.
Was that pun intended? Swerve coming down to whoop on Samoa Joe after he got choked out.
Definitely,
by Samoa Joe.
Definitely could be a pun intended in that one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nah,
listen. No. Right now, the thing
Wardlow
is,
doesn't have the mouthpiece for it yet.
I was going to say, well, here's the thing. If Wardlow were to win the AEW championship, obviously at this point, Adam Cole is going to be the mouth for him and getting them to that point. That's literally what it
No,
would be.
Adam Cole right now in the position that he's in is too conceited. Just be like, Warlow, lay down. I'm going to pin you.
No,
and,
I was
even
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like this is like that's how that would play out on like some WWF level shenanigans. And yes, I said F because that is where that took place. Is in that era of wrestling. And right now, I feel like the fans and the world will not approve of that kind of level of easy out, no matter who it is. Like, not even MJF can like pull that off right now.
I feel
He
like
has a
MJF
higher
could.
chance. He has a
MJF
higher
could.
chance of getting over with it, but it still will be like, yo, this is like the dumbest finish for like this championship.
Okay. I'm not going. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, but we're all in agreement. Joe's going to take this victory one way or the
Uh-huh.
other. But now let's go ahead and move on to essentially what this whole show
Right.
is
What big business is
built
why we're
around.
here.
I'm gonna ask this, even though there's no reason for me. Is Mercedes showing up tonight?
That's what the interweb says. Everybody
Listen.
seems to be on agreement that she is showing up tonight and she's going to be all elite.
Listen, there's the whole way that they're setting this up, the show, the business, it all
It
works. And of
says
course,
boss with the dollar sign underneath the garden
it
sign.
does. It does. Like this right here, like what Tony's been doing about this. Because here's the thing,
Like,
I don't.
and there's money. It's like, bruh. Like, yes, you can grant it like Okada Rainmaker, but there will be dollar bills falling down if that was the case. This is actual dollar signs next to where it says boss. Like,
So
that's
now-
a direct tie-in. Like, if they do this, if they don't pull the trigger here, biggest swerve ever. I will applaud them for it, but I will be angry.
Nah, you ain't
because
getting applaud. Not with this, the way that they've been doing this. So now here's the question. Here's the question. How do they do this? Because as of right now, match-wise, there's nothing worth having Mercedes to come in here and interrupt. The only thing that I can think of, clearly, with the whole boss scenario, CEO and all that, I see her joining the elite. I see her becoming another member of the elite as well, too. Like,
Okay.
to me, that it makes sense.
Interesting. I won't say it makes 100% sense. Like, I could see where you're going with it. I say that there will be some sort of Tony Storm
That's what I'm thinking.
type of
promo
thing. Or something, or she's like, yeah, like this is my stand-in, and she's blah blah blah, whatever, and then that's when music cue hits, and we're just like, yo, there's only one boss in all this business, blah 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 blah, promo. I'm coming after your title, and I'm sorry, Sin, your girl losing that belt when she comes after that belt. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, I'm not. That is happening. The way that this is.
You're muted, Sin.
Agreeing with you. I was like, yeah, I believe it. Yeah. like she comes and they put them on whatever the next.
Yes, there have been several. In the elite, I don't know about the elite. Technically, no, but in Bullet Club, yes, they have a few.
Yeah. But this will be the first, and I think as far as like this was one of the issues like I was talking about, like, and I really don't want to switch, but like Bloodline, even though the Bloodline's working, I feel like that's been the only piece that they didn't have to be able to dominate in that division.
Every other faction in that company has a woman in their faction, except for the Bloodline. So, officially,
having the elite to have Mercedes to be a part of it at some point, to have all of them be able to have gold. Like, listen, if it's the Bucks,
it just fits. Being a part of the
if it's all, but to have the Bucks potentially to win the whole tag team championship bid again, Okada, he'll end up beating Eddie Kingston.
I have a theory
of becoming the continental champion, and then you have her that can win the AEW's World Championship. I feel like that would be a cool little catalyst that you could have with the elite. And you kind of got to make everybody once again go through them. Then Omega somehow comes into the picture, takes on, like, I feel like that's going to end up being, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy if the Bucks were to win the tag team championships. Just obviously EVP. But honestly, I think for how this story could go, letting them become tag team champions again, and then that's just going to swell their heads up even more as EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have Okada, Continental Champion. Joe will be the one to try to decimate and take down the whole entire corporate elite. I hope they don't copy and paste that, but
Nah, it will just be a different main event mafia.
right. I don't. Uh,
It would be a different version of a main event mafia type scenario.
I don't want them to do the main event mafia, but if they do something else, cool. Yeah, I don't want them to do main event.
I don't mean like Booker T in the main event mafia.
No.
I mean like the actual main event mafia, like when it was just like really good. Because Joe was in the
MJF show up and join Joe as in their new main event mafia to throw everyone for.
But that's not my scenario though. My scenario personally is not only do the Bucks make themselves the tag team champions because they're EVPs. They don't have to fight for it because the titles are vacated. And they were the last number one contenders.
They could.
I see them flexing that EVP muscle and just be like, we're the new tag team champions. Just because we say so. And by doing so with Okada, they take out the Acclaim and become dual tag or a tag team and trios champion, shifting the dynamic of both the tag team and the trios divisions.
Could I don't think they're gonna put all the weight on them.
I can see this being a collect all the gold and the company so we have all the power scenario.
I'm not mad. Like, listen, I am not mad at the scenario of having a group that can dominate and own all the gold at least once. Like, I want to see a faction to be able to do that. I mean, if it's got to be the elite, I'm not mad at it. I know a lot of people will be mad at it, but I think there needs to be a few more pieces added to the elite puzzle for that to fully work. I don't think with just the 4, let's say Mercedes were to join the elite, I feel like with just the 4, it's not going to work. I don't know if Hangman would come back and join back up.
I'm telling you, this is how it will play out, right? They get the tag teams, they get the trios with Okada. Okada then goes after the international championship, right? Kenny comes back and he goes after the AEW championship. And then Hangman goes after the TNT championship. That's all the gold right there on the gold that matters, except for like the FTW championship. Right. But even then, they can bring in Michael Nakazawa or Brandon Cutler and take the FTW. Like, yes, that's that level of everyone has the gold.
Nakazawa, like there would have been a point I could have been like, okay, I could see him, but nah, not now. But
I don't think like, that man ain't ready. He stay ready.
But I feel like they still need a few more people. If they're gonna pull that execution off, I don't think they'll pull double weight with having both Okada and the Bucks being tag team in trios. I don't think they'll pull that way. I think they need to add at least one more person into the ranks to end up doing that with. Sin, what do you think? How do you think Mercedes gets put into the mix?
I'm going with the Tony faction. I'm going with Tony cutting a promo and she interfering. That's what I'm going with. That makes. I like the idea of the elite thing and her joining it. I like that when I hear it and kind of playing it out in my head. But I think the way I see it actually playing out is tonight we'll hear from Tony Storm. She'll come out, do what Tony does best, have fun and cut her funny little promos, and then Mercedes will interrupt her and challenge her to a match at Dynasty.
As long as it isn't TK coming out to the center of the ring after the end of the Joe match and saying, "This is my special announcement," yada yada yada, and the music hits. It's an okay, but not like this is big business. Like this needs to have all the flair. This needs to be movie level, like.
Listen, the only way I would be okay with Tony doing that is if they kind of do the same way when they introduce both Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole in at the same time, and how they hit that double whammy right back to back. I don't know who else would be the other person to bring in with Mercedes, but it's to have, two more women that can be put into the division. I feel like it would be some
Britt
type
Baker.
of double. Britt
Okay.
returning potentially, but I don't think that would have the
Oh
same,
no.
like,
What's her name? The one that was feuding with Tony before she had her gimmick. You know who I'm talking about, Jokes? The other thick one. It was like right when Tony came in and she became champion. Jamie Hayter. There we go.
oh, Hater's return. That could be, but it won't hit the same way. Hater coming back would be cool, but she will not have that same level of Mercedes return. I
Well,
don't
the only
know.
other person is Britt currently that can pull that level type of response.
Britt would have it more.
It would have
than
to be
Hayter would.
Britt.
Yeah, I think there's something else that has to be happening
Mhm.
at big business for them to make a big deal about than just Mercedes coming back. There has to be another announcement or something secret tucked in the stash or something like that. I don't think she's the only thing.
Mhm.
What
agree.
what can happen is after the Joe match, you see Adam Cole and the crew come out and stuff, and then the screen hits and MJF speaks, and then after that's done is when you have the Mercedes spot. That's the
Mhm.
only way it
Nah,
can kind of flow.
I don't think they
Yeah,
do
that
it.
doesn't sound right. Yeah,
Unless MJF and Mercedes somehow are going to make a new faction. I don't see that happening, but that would be the only way.
It will happen because if when Adam comes out, if Brit's there, that's what makes it make sense.
There's got to at least be one more. There has to be one other surprise.
Yeah.
And you know the thing is, I'm happy that we haven't figured it out yet. I love a very
Or we're
good
just
surprise.
overthinking it, and
We could
Tony
be
Khan is
overthinking
going to
it.
Tony Khan, and that's how it's going to. That's how this night is going to play out. Is by him announcing that Mercedes is all elite, and then
Whatever. But listen, in the world of wrestling, when you can pull off a surprise to everybody, it's one of those super amazing
Especially
things.
nowadays with social media.
Social media, because it can't happen. Like right now, obviously, you're selling us Mercedes.
No, it can happen.
Not
Punk
mad
happened
at
in
us.
WWE. We didn't, like.
Did not see it. It
I
was in
mean,
Chicago. Was it like there was pieces of that?
like there was only two ways like this man was going to come out unscathed. One, he stays retired for good. Another is all right, he goes to the WWE. And the only I'm gonna tell you this, like no shade, but the only reason why he's back in the E is because of all the negative stuff that came out about the other person and their shenanigans and that select group of people. Like I feel like that was something that was coming down, and they was like, "Yo, we need to just before shift eyes, bring in someone that has controversy level heat."
Could be. I'm hoping for another surprise though, because I mean, don't get me wrong, Mercedes is worth building. To me personally, it's worth building this for.
How much
I think
Julia still have on her contract, Jokes?
I think that joint's done.
There we go.
Valid. But we're on agreement at least though. Joe's gonna win that match. So and Mercedes, she's gonna show up regardless, however this plays out. She's gonna be here.
We hope she shows up. We hope she shows up.
Listen, before we get out of here, with all the way that this show has been built up, if Mercedes don't show up at this show, and listen, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm gonna be pissed because
we will be some Mercedes crybabies. Is what we're gonna be.
We is gonna be some Mercedes crybabies out here because the way that everything was been built, this was for her. The only thing to keep, I don't even know what to keep her out, but we won't even go
cry
there.
from laughter if she don't come out because everybody.
I probably will laugh
and
too.
Going off on TikTok in the morning.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys once again taking this Wednesday to do this show, but I think this one was worthwhile when they do that for it. What do you guys think? Does Mercedes show up? Does she not show up?
She has to show up. She has to show up. Like it's my background. Like she has to show up. Like I can't see her showing up anywhere else outside of like Wembley, and I feel like waiting for Wembley is a little bit too long right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel
And
like
she's
now
there.
she should be fully healed now and
she's
everything.
There. She made a post earlier saying did the whole Boston with the 2 S's.
Yeah, but we
thing.
already knew she was gonna be back in Boston like months in advance.
Whatever. But we got just over an hour, a little over an hour before big business kicks off. So we want to give y'all enough time.
Catch us in the Discord.
I gotta go get some food, make sure I got some stuff, get things knocked out, ready to go. So that 8 to 10, I ain't gotta worry about doing nothing. So let us know what you guys think. Jump on over to the Discord, also in the LS Wrestling chat. We're gonna be in both places talking about it. So bring your predictions. Let us know what you think. But I think we're good to wrap this up. You guys, gentlemen, agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sweet. For the homie Sin, for the homie Marcus, this is Jokes. This has been your prediction show for big business. Marcus, go ahead and tell the people what you want to tell them.
Just because your back is against the ropes doesn't mean you can't move forward.
I'm good with that.
Bang.
And with that, we'll catch you later.
Loading snacks.